Pandas is the world's most popular Python library used for everything from data manipulation to data analysis. So in this course, we learn how to use the pandas to manipulate data frame. We learn to use it to extract, filter, and transform real-world data sets in Python. So welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Excel Island, where the goal and objective is to learn and master Python over the next 100 days. Today is day 19. We've been learning consistently from day one. So if you are new to the channel and you want to start learning Python with me, I will encourage you to go to the day one section of this series on the live stream tab on the channel, where we actually started absolutely from day one, from zero. I was trying to make it to hero. We're trying to get to day 100. Hopefully, we won't spend up to 100 days to cover the whole section in this Python for data analysis on the DataCamp platform. But the whole target is to set the maximum date of 100 days of learning. So we'll be using a real world data set like the Walmart sales figures, the global temperature, and we'll learn to import, clean, and calculate statistics with this pandas data frame. So welcome to this learning journey with me. Also, if you want to catch previous live stream on the channel, we actually started learning from day one. As I said earlier, just go to the live stream tab. We've covered a couple of lessons so far. So on day 18, we did our first project, which is investigating the Netflix movies in, I would say, investigating Netflix movies. Yeah, that was the key term of that. Let me just check it out. So investigating Netflix movies in Python. Yeah, so that's what we did on day 18. You can just quickly go to the 18 and build on those projects. If you're looking to create your first Python project, all the codes or the data set is already linked under the YouTube description. All the codes can be seen in that live stream. So welcome back to the channel. So without further ado, let's jump back to learning. Also, if you need access to all the data set, the CSV file we'll be using, I'll link them under a link under the YouTube description. So do make sure to download those files and practice along with me. So without further ado, welcome to this new course, which is pandas. This course actually contained 4 chapters. So we'll be learning all about pandas in 4 chapters. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. So I go uh, to the DataCamp. So actually using the DataCamp platform for this learning journey. If I go to the career section real quick, I could show you our data analyst in Python. We're 22% out of 100%. So when we started this fun way of learning, it actually started with our data analyst in SQL, and that went for a period of 100 days. Then we moved to data analyst in Power BI. That ran for like 69, 70 days. All of that videos is on the live stream tab where we covered all the important concepts in Power BI. So I'm actually coming up with some projects. So far, so good. So still working on those projects, and I'll be making a separate videos for each project, and I'll be sharing that on the channel also. So let's click on data analyst in Python and see where we've stopped. So we've covered 2 courses rather so far, and each course actually contain 4 chapters. So we've covered introduction to Python, we've covered Python basics, Python lists, function and packages, and NumPy. We've also covered intermediate Python, where we looked at matplotlib, dictionary, logic, control flow, and filtering, loops, and we did our first case study. And on day 18, we worked on our first project, which is investigating the Netflix movie. And catch all of that on the day 18 live stream. So we're moving to data manipulation with pandas. So this actually contains 4 chapters: transforming data frames, aggregating data frames, slicing and indexing data frames, creating and visualizing data frames. So this is all we'll be covering in this pandas series. For now, then we'll move to our first and our next project, which is exploring NYC Public School test results course. Also, so that's by the way, though, since we have a couple of more courses to take, more courses, the next projects. You can see, then another course, then another project, then course, then a final project. This we have a long way to go. So let's continue and start with this data transformation series. I just put on my headset. So also, I would like to have my own Anaconda or my Jupyter notebook launch, so I can also practice in my own environment right here while using the DataCamp interface. So if you want to practice, you have to go and install Anaconda on your laptop, your local machine. Then you just launch your Jupyter notebook for here. Then you have access to a Python environment where you can import all the packages that you use to manipulate your data sets. Oops, we are up. So while that is coming up, I'll just go ahead and go back here. What do I want to do actually? So I need to launch this here. Okay, I'm trying to launch I'll just take this to my second screen here. So the file, the CSV file. So let's get started. So welcome to the learning journey with me.
Hi, I'm Richie. I'll be your tour guide through the world of pandas. Pandas is a Python package for data manipulation. It can also be used for data visualization. We'll get to that in Chapter 4. We'll start by talking about DataFrames, which form the core of pandas. In Chapter 2, we'll discuss aggregating data to gather insights. In Chapter 3, you'll learn all about slicing and indexing to subset data frames. Finally, you'll visualize your data, deal with missing data, and read data into a data frame. Let's dive in. Pandas is built on top of two essential Python packages, NumPy and matplotlib. NumPy provides multidimensional array objects for easy data manipulation that Pandas uses to store data. And matplotlib has powerful data visualization capabilities that Pandas takes advantage of. Pandas has millions of users, with PyPy recording about 14 million downloads in December 2019. This represents almost the entire Python data science community. There are several ways to store data for analysis, but rectangular data, sometimes called tabular data, is the most common form. In this example with dogs, each observation, or each dog, is a row, and each variable, or each dog property, is a column. Pandas is designed to work with rectangular data, like this. In Pandas, rectangular data is represented as a DataFrame object. Each programming language used for data analysis has something similar to this. R also has DataFrames, while SQL has database tables. Every value within a column has the same data type, either text or numeric, but different columns can contain different data types. When you first receive a new dataset, you want to quickly explore it and get a sense of its contents. Pandas has several methods for this. The first is head, which returns the first few rows of the data frame. We only had 7 rows to begin with, so it's not super exciting, but this becomes very useful if you have many rows. The info method displays the names of columns, the data types they contain, and whether they have any missing values. A DataFrame's shape attribute contains a tuple that holds the number of rows, followed by the number of columns. Since this is an attribute instead of a method, you write it without parentheses. The describe method computes some summary statistics for numerical columns like mean and median. Count is the number of non-missing values in each column. Describe is good for a quick overview of numeric variables, but if you want more control, you'll see how to perform more specific calculations later in the course. Data frames consist of 3 different components, accessible using attributes. The values attribute, as you might expect, contains the data values in a 2-dimensional NumPy array. The other 2 components of a data frame are data frames consist. Count is the number of non-missing values in each column. Describe is good for a quick overview of numeric variables, but if you want more control, you'll see how to perform more specific calculations later in the course. Data frames consist of 3 different components, accessible using attributes. The values attribute, as you might expect, contains the data values in a 2-dimensional NumPy array. The other two components of a data frame are labels for columns and rows. The columns attribute contains column names, and the index attribute contains row numbers or row names. Be careful, since row labels are stored in .index, not in .rows. Notice that these are index objects, which we'll cover in chapter.
Minutes. I'm back.
3. This allows for flexibility in labels. For example, the dogs data uses row numbers, but row names are also possible. Python has a semi-official philosophy on how to write good code called the Zen of Python. One suggestion is that, given a programming problem, there should only be one obvious solution. As you go through this course, bear in mind that pandas deliberately doesn't follow this philosophy. Instead, there are often multiple ways to solve a problem, leaving you to choose the best. In this respect, pandas is like a Swiss Army knife, giving you a variety of tools, making it incredibly powerful, but more difficult to learn. In this course, we aim for a more streamlined approach to pandas, only covering the most important ways of doing things. Enough meditating. Time to write some code.
Of course, let's write some code. Print the head of the homelessness data. Okay, so probably I need to create my own. Hold up in a minute. I always like to create my own Jupyter notebook for the course. Okay, let's go to data sets. So I have the data sets for homelessness, sales subset, temperature, and a PKL file, which I'm just getting to know about today. I have no idea what this PKL file means. This .pkl file. Let's create a new Jupyter notebook here, so I can connect to this homelessness data and perform what I'll be doing here also. So let's explore the data set, a new notebook. We call this, we'll be using Python kernel 3. I'll just call this introducing data frames. So it will be introduction to data frames. Into to data frames in pandas. In pandas. Good. So definitely want to import pandas. So let me just read the instruction first. So I'll compare the two. So expecting a data frame. So when you get a new data frame to work with, the first thing you need to do is explore it and see what it contains. There are several useful methods and attributes for this. We have the .head returns the first few rows, the head of the data frame. .info shows the information on each of the columns, such as the data type and the number of missing values. .shape returns the number of rows and columns of the data frame. .describe calculate a few summary statistics for each column. So homelessness is the data frame containing estimate of homelessness in each US state in 2018. So the individual column is the number of homeless individuals not part of a family with children. So the family members column is the number of homeless individuals parts of a family with children. The state pop column is the state total population. Pandas is imported for you already. So we need to import pandas on my own Jupyter notebook here. So we have some information about each of the columns here. But before that, let's import just call on imports pandas as PD. Let's run the code. So I just want to drop a comment on this. Hold up a second. Import libraries. If you need to import more library, you can just go back there. So we need to connect to this homelessness data, which is this data set here. I'm going to say home data. I can just call it homeless underscore data equals to pd, that is pandas pd dot read to pd dot read underscore csv, open and close brackets. All we just have to do is just mention the name of this. Let me see if I can copy the name. Copy. Let's see if that's going to work. If we can just easily just type it out though. Let's see. It can actually copy. I'll just spell it. So homelessness.csv. So it has to be in quotes. Probably single quote or double quotes. Let's write that out. Homeless.csv. Let's see if I'm making a mistake. Cool. So I just call on the home data right now. You could see we have our data set already. So to make it shorter and not really that long like this, I can just put dots head here, close and open the bracket. We're going to be seeing a few rows just like this. So you can see. So there's a way to unname this column here. That's probably if you're going to use the numpy array also, but I can't remember that right now. But let us just continue. So you can see that the homelessness is the data frame containing estimate of homelessness in each US state in 2018. It says the individual column is number of homeless individuals. It says the individual column. Okay. You can see the individual column here. That is the number of homeless individuals, not part of a family with children, that are not part of a family with any children. Then it says the family members column is the number of homeless individuals parts of a family with children. So the state population, we also have a column called state pop. But let's continue exploring the data sets. It says print the head of the homelessness data sets. That should be just be this. This is the name given here. Could just say. So if you want to download the data set, it's already linked. There's a link under the YouTube description. To also download this data set and every other data set I'll be using in this pandas series. So I'll just say homelessness.head. Open and close the brackets. Let's run the code. You can see, so we have same results here. The region, the state, the individuals, the family members, and the pop. Let me just off my camera real quick. So I can see that we have same results that I have on this DataCamp platform. I also have same results here also, but in a different. Let's submit the answer and see. Good. We know that. It says inspecting a data frame. When you get a new, okay, this is the first, okay, we're reading the same instruction again. Print information about the column types and missing values in the homelessness data. Information about the, so that will be print homelessness dot info. So we're just exploring the data sets. So the dot head, it will be dot info. Let's see that in action here. So I just change this my data head, the name I gave it here to something easier. I can easily just copy and paste the code one at a time like that. Let's run the code. You can see the info of the data sets. Let's do the same thing here. Okay, I'll just rename it Control C. Let's rename this like this also, and change this also to this. So we're on the same page like that. Get same results and dot info, because it's giving us information about each column and their data type. Non-null counts. As all the columns are not null, so they have the data in them. The floaters, so the integer are 2 and the objects are 2. You can see. So it's giving us the info about this pandas data frame. So let's continue. Next one says print the shape of the data set. That is print same thing, homelessness dot shape. So there should be dot shape this time around. Dot shape. I'll just copy this. Oh, dot shape. I won't be using 2 columns without with homelessness dot shape without any 2 column. You can see the shape is 51 rows of data and 5 columns. That's what the information that the shape is giving us. You can see we have 51 rows of data and 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the number of rows in the data set is just 51 rows of data. Let's continue. The last one says we need a description of homelessness. So that will be homelessness dot describe with an open and close bracket this time around. Dot describe, open and close brackets this time around. You can see it's describing, it's giving us the summary statistics of each column. So let's do the same thing here. You can see the counts, the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum, the 25% percentile, 50% percentile, 75% percentile, and the maximum values in each column, especially in the integer column, not the text column. So it's focused on the individuals, family members, and state population. You can see those are the column that you can actually get the summary statistics for. Insightful inspecting, you can see that the average number of homeless individual in each state is about 7,000. Let's explore the data frame further. Let's see that the average number, that should be the mean here, 7,225,000. That is the average number of homeless individuals. That's huge in each state. That's massive. Okay, this is part of the data frame. So we have a lot to cover here. We may probably not be able to cover everything in this live stream. Probably each chapter will be broken into two live stream each, so you can take enough time to cover this concept and not to rush to it, because this is huge. This content here is huge. The content here also, let's see, slicing and dicing section. So that's by the way though. So let's continue. We'll probably just stop after a couple of subsetting or sorting rows lesson here. But let's continue. The import panda using the alias PD. So it's called on import pandas as PD. Increment an alias PD. Print the values of homeless, the column index of homelessness, and print the row index of homelessness. I want to print the values, so it's going to be print. I want to be using prints here. Underscore, open brackets, homelessness dot values. I'm going to call on dot values. Let's see. So I'll just make use of it first in my Jupyter notebook here. Let's see the values. You can see the values. So it's just printing this column for us, but this time it is printing as a 2D numpy array. You can see row 1, is East Africa, Alabama. The individual is 2,000. The family member is just 864. The state population is 4887681. So that's what it's just doing. You can see we're having same results here. So it converts it into a 2D NumPy array. That's what these values code does for us. So the next instruction now says print the column index. Column index, we just mentioned same thing, similar scenario. Just change the value set. So what? Value has to be columns. Columns. Let's see that in action. Columns. Okay. Let's see. So it's mentioning the columns, region, state, individuals, family members, and state pop. Region, state, individuals, family members, and state pop. The last one is row index. That will just be homelessness. Same thing from here. So the row index just to be homelessness dot index. So let's copy this and make use of it in Jupyter Notebook here. You can see the index starts 0, stop 51, step 1. I'm not getting what this index information is giving us. I'll probably just Google about it later. But let's continue. Let's run the code and see. Well, like I said, we got same results. You can see the index. What is this index giving us from starts 0? Let's submit and see. Great, we named this. So dynamite data frame dissection. Data frames have 3 components: values, column index, and row index. Okay, this is the column index, and row index is this. Oh, okay, the row index is giving us information about the rows. Interesting. The rows start from 0 and stop at 51, and step between each row is 1 step. Okay, interesting. So start from 0 right here, then stop at 50 or 51. Interesting. I'll read more on index later then. So let's continue. Oh, don't mind this. I've been learning for the past 40 or 41 days. I'll just not be able to live stream. I'll just doing some little bit of learning behind the scene. That's why I'm trying to keep that streak. Okay, let's learn about sorting and subsetting. I'll probably just stop here. Let's see, we cannot stop in the middle. Just maybe learn about sorting rows. Then we continue from subsetting columns and subsetting rows. Then we complete this on the next live, which is tomorrow. But let's learn about this first.
In this video, we'll cover the 2 simplest and possibly most important ways to find interesting parts of your data frame. The first thing you can do is change the order of the rows by sorting them, so that the most interesting data is at the top of the data frame. You can sort rows using the passing in a column name that you want to sort by. For example, when we apply sort values on the weight kilograms column of the dog's data frame, we get the lightest dog at the top, Stella the Chihuahua, and the heaviest dog at the bottom, Bernie the St. Bernard. Setting the ascending argument to false will sort the data the other way around, from heaviest dog to lightest dog. We can sort by multiple variables by passing a list of column names to sort values. Here we sort first by weight, then by height. Now, Charlie, Lucy, and Bella are ordered from shortest to tallest, even though they all weigh the same. To change the direction values are sorted in, pass a list to the ascending argument to specify which direction sorting should be done for Stella the Chihuahua and the heaviest dog at the bottom, Bernie the St. Bernard. Setting the ascending argument to false will sort the data the other way around, from heaviest dog to lightest dog. We can sort by multiple variables by passing a list of column names to sort values. Here we sort first by weight, then by height. Now, Charlie, Lucy, and Bella are ordered from shortest to tallest, even though they all weigh the same. To change the direction values are sorted in, pass a list to the ascending argument to specify which direction sorting should be done for each variable. Now Charlie, Lucy, and Bella are ordered from tallest to shortest. We may want to zoom in on just one column. We can do this using the name of the data frame followed by square brackets with the column name inside. Here we can look at just the name column. To select multiple columns, you need 2 pairs of square brackets. In this code, the inner and outer square brackets are performing different tasks. The outer square brackets are responsible for subsetting the data frame, and the inner square brackets are creating a list of column names to subset. This means that you could provide a separate list of column names as a variable, and then use that list to perform the same subsetting. Usually, it's easier to do in one line. There are lots of different ways to subset rows. The most common way to do this is by creating a logical condition to filter against. For example, let's find all the dogs whose height is greater than 50 centimeters. Now we have a true or false value for every row. We can use the logical condition inside of square brackets to subset the rows we're interested in to get all of the dogs taller than 50 centimeters. We can also subset rows based on text data. Here we use the double equal sign in the logical condition to filter the dogs that are Labradors. We can also subset based on dates. Here we filter all the dogs born before 2015. Notice that the dates are in quotes and are written as year, then month, then day. This is the International Standard Date format. To subset the rows that meet multiple conditions, you can combine conditions using logical operators, such as the AND operator seen here. This means that only rows that meet both of these conditions will be subsetted. You could also do this in one line of code, but you'll also need to add parentheses around each condition. If you want to filter on multiple values of a categorical variable, the easiest way is to use the isIn method. This takes in a list of values to filter for. Here, we check if the colour of a dog is black or brown and use this condition to subset the data. Now it's time to practice your sorting and subsetting.
Interesting. Sorting and subsetting is like filtering your data sets. These are how you filter data sets in Python. Interesting. So let's practice a couple of sorting. So sorting rows and subsetting columns, then subsetting rows. I feel we should just do the sorting rows today. We will continue from here, subsetting columns, subsetting rows by categorical variables, adding new columns, also add a new column and combo attack. Let's see what we can do right now. So sorting rows. So finding interesting bits of data in a data frame is often easier if you change the order of the rows. You can sort the rows by passing a column name to dot sort values or method. I think that's it's called method. Yeah. So in cases where rows have same value, this is common if you sort on a categorical variable. You may wish to break the ties by sorting on another column. You can sort on multiple columns in this way by passing a list of column names. Sort on one column, DataFrame.sort. So this is the DataFrame name. Breed, multiple column DataFrame.sort values, breed and weight. So by combining sort values with .add, you can answer questions in the form. What are the top cases where homelessness is available and pandas is located as PD? Let's see what we can sort here. Let's see. Number one, okay, we have 3 challenges here. Sort homelessness by the number of homeless individuals in the individuals column from smallest to largest and save this as homelessness individual. Print the head of sorted data frame. Okay. Okay, let's see. So we need to sort. So we want to use homelessness to sort. We're going to call on the data frame first. Control C. So it's going to be homelessness dot sort underscore value. I want to use a particular column for this. So what column are we actually using? Sort homelessness by the number of homeless individuals in the individuals column from smallest to largest. I want to sort from smallest to largest. So by default, it's going to be from smallest to largest. The default scenario, let's see the default scenario first. I want to use the individual column. Let me just copy this column. Name, I'm going to put it in double brackets. Or let me run it first. Let me try it out in my Jupyter notebook. Let's try it out here first and see. Okay. Ooh. Sort value. It's going to be sort values. I use sort values rather than sort value. Voila. So my mistake was using. So that's to be pretty careful here. Sort values. So let's call on this homelessness individual. But I'm going to use dot head to look at that data frame. I think this is starting from. This also says sort from smallest to largest. This is starting from largest to the smallest to largest rather. Exactly. It is smallest, smallest, next 708, 704. Interesting. So let's see. Let's see it in action here. So this is going to be print this result here. Let's run the code. Voila. So this is going to print everything for us. You can see 50 is the I see the first is row number 50, which is 434, 467. So by default, it is sorting from smallest to largest ascending. If you want it, if you want to sort from largest to smallest, you're going to put ascending equals to false. Let's submit and see. Oh, we didn't get it. Let's see. Cool. I didn't include the head column here. Okay. In the print head, I'm supposed to include dot head here. So let's see the first 5 rows. They only want us to show the first 5 rows. Let's submit that again. Voila, we got that. So equation number 2, challenge number 2 is to sort homelessness by the number of homeless family members in descending order and save this as homelessness family. Okay, so I'm going to use same code. Let me just copy this code here to save time. For this time, I want to look at the data set by the family members column. I want to sort it from largest. Okay, yes, from largest descending order. So from largest to smallest. So let's see family members record here. So I'm going to change this column to family members. So I'm going to add a new comma, a new sort is going to be ascending equals to false. Let's see it in action. So it's going to be, let's copy this first. Okay, let's run the code. Correct. So let's print the code out. Homeless family members. We're sorting it by the family members. Let's do dot head. So let's see the first 5 rows of data. Good. So you can see by family members from largest to smallest. You can see saying from largest to smallest. Pretty straightforward there. Let's submit the code. So we knew that also. So I think we're going to combine the two here. So sort homelessness first by region ascending and then by number of family descending. Save this as homeless region and family. So let's just copy this line of code also to save time. Okay. So we want to start first by region ascending. So by region, let's see the region column spelled correctly, region. Then by another column. So by the next column is going to be, the next column is going to be, so to solve, they have to use curly brackets, square bracket this time around, since I'm using multiple columns. Sorts. Then by family members, which is this one here. Family members. Then let's mention the ascending for should be false. So ascending for this should be true. Why for family members should be false. True for region and false for family members. Then we can close the two brackets. So this is going to be in curly bracket also, square brackets, rather, for it to work. Let's see it first in action in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, voila, we nailed it. And let's see the first 5 rows of the data. Dot add. Voila. So we started by region ascending. You can see the region east, north, central coming first. Then family members descending by the region. That's interesting. Let's run the code. We nailed it also. East, north, central. Let's submit the code. Voila. So we nailed it here. I think we should stop here. This is all about subsetting. We can continue from this subsetting on day 20 live stream. We've covered quite enough. If you continue spending, try to solve it finish. We're going to spend more than an hour here. And the goal is 45 minutes, 1 hour practice every day. All right. So make sure to download the homelessness data using the link under the YouTube description, so you can also practice data framing, subsetting, sorting and filtering your first Python data set with me. Do well to support the channel by giving the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 20 as we continue our learning journey to master Python for the next 100 days. As usual, do have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to go start from day 1 of Python so you understand all what we'll be talking about: data frame, method, object, subsetting, and so on. You can catch all of that from day 1 of the live stream. And I'll see you in the next video on the channel. Do well to practice and earn your data skills with me. Bye bye for now.